is unfit to breathe, our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not gonna leave you alone. I want you to get mad first. You've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. I want my job.
Signal connection weak. Signal connection weak.
Command is invalid. How do you require medical brain assistance? System crash on multiple sectors, no actions available at this time. This file is currently being viewed and cannot be downloaded without additional measures. Unable to continue download. Only a limited file is available. Additional resources required. Please die and collect a total of 778 plague coins.
Introductory file. United Front for Paranormal Discovery. Classification Type F Nuisance. Awareness Grade C. Originally founded in 2010, the UFPD was created by Channel 99 as a typical paranormal investigation series. What set it apart from the rest was the cast who seemingly took everything less than seriously, whilst becoming more and more violent in their attempts to make spirits do something about it, or simply become known. As the series went on, the cast became tired of not being able to find hard evidence, and of constantly being misled by people's stupidity, leading to at least 2 accounts of assault on homeless squatters, and at least 1 charge of arson on an abandoned hospital. By the end of the year, the network was forced to cancel the series for a 2nd season due to backlash. The cast, not wanting to end the show, successfully managed to fundraise enough capital to buy back the IP from Channel 99 through crowdfunding. 2011 to 2015. Originally advertised as a no-nonsense group of young men willing to go to extremes for a common cause, the new version of the UFPD began with an advertising campaign and a website where people could not only catalog sightings and basic local information on the paranormal, but also see live broadcasted episodes from different groups that would later get edited into a larger series aired on Y-T-. During the initial years, the group would constantly deal with multiple lawsuits as their antics became increasingly violent and their influence spread across the United States, creating a vast catalog of aberrations that even the Constance Foundation has found useful. During this initial period, the organization allowed the creation of smaller groups that branded themselves as paranormal police, available via hotline to anyone who believed they were being hunted or were otherwise dealing with paranormal creatures of any type, such as skinwalkers, aliens, or even demons. Unfortunately, the hotline of the UFPD found that almost 90% of cases were explainable, whilst the rest never provided substantial results in terms of scientific evidence. Yet, as their movement grew in numbers, a term would grow in popularity as many of the users got tired of vague results declaring that nuclear solutions are the only solutions, marking the start of a new era for the organization. Unlike before, the group would attempt to organize itself militarily and use strategy to get results using unorthodox methods, such as using dogs to not only intentionally antagonize ghosts, but to also track and follow paranormal creatures. Other tactics included tracking and trailing UFO highways, which on its own led to over 25 secret military aircraft being declassified by the United States Air Force, leading to the arrest of at least 142 members. To best describe this period, it is simpler to say that the group used every resource they had to drive every concept and idea to its most logical extreme, regardless of the cost or the potential danger to themselves or to others. 2016 to 2017. Finally, in 2016, they struck gold with a string of large-scale operations that could have led to complete disclosure if not for the involvement of the Constance Foundation, as during December of 2017, they attempted to sue a variety of universities for fraud and treason against humanity, using the material they had collected during said events. They first began in late January 26 of 2016 by publishing a scientific paper detailing a process to examine life on different dimensions or other planes. With it, you can see non-intelligent life forms, such as microbes, interacting with others. Unfortunately, the method was not censored, but was thankfully driven to the ground due to a moral outcry by the scientific community, as the method called for an eyeball still connected to the brain and a sample of element 99. The following operations in the same light gave them about as much fame as it did infamy, as the UFPD, in an attempt to capture Bigfoot Aberration 57 originally from CF Local 5757, a location that frequently fractures with Earth, shot at Tongass National Park. The creature was ultimately cornered after the UFPD set fire to the National Forest in Alaska. Their final operation happened in Nevada, in where a small group of 4 managed to single-handedly build an RPG fitted with an EMP hammer, and successfully managed to hit a UFO out of the sky after tracking its flight patterns for over 6 years. Unfortunately, the ship crashed in a small town area, killing 152 civilians and injuring 36 others. The Pangean Congregation eventually found these events to be too notable to ignore and demanded firm action from the Constance Foundation, who was begrudgingly made to protect the status quo. The Bigfoot incident was presented as an offspring of a gorilla that was long ago part of a traveling circus, and led to the arrest of 347 members of the UFPD. As for the UFO incident, it was simply labeled as a terrorist attack on a military aircraft by a terrorist organization. In the end, the story was swept under the rug, and the congregation was forced to pay reparations to the Galactic Assembly for lost supplies. In 2018, the UFPD lost most of the fraud cases and was for the most part ultimately forgotten by the mainstream media, as most of its top members were by then arrested and the online communities were slowly shut down for conspiracy to commit a felony. It's also worth noting that simultaneously the population of the United States got largely distracted by political turmoil against the trans community. Regardless, in truth, the UFPD was allowed to exist for so long by the Constance Foundation for the specific purpose of eventually being merged with the Pangean Congregation as a new member organization. All previously arrested individuals, 997 members in total, were allowed to enter the Antarctic Circle and now play a crucial role in maintaining the status quo voluntarily. As for the recent attitude of the United States population against humanity, a new vote to eliminate it is under consideration, but is unlikely to be acted on. Document interruption. Please refer to the following document.